Evening, guys. Welcome to my first live stream of 2024. First off, I'd just like to wish everybody who's here a very happy new year. And I hope 2024 proves to be a good one for you all, a very prosperous one. And of course, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we'll get some good movie releases this year. Okay, so again, guys, I must just say a couple of things before we get underway. As you probably gather, I've still got this awful cold, so I apologise if I might, sort of like go into sudden bouts of coughing. It's not as bad as it was, but it's still pretty bad. And the worst thing now is I've lost my taste and smell, so I couldn't enjoy my Christmas dinner, I couldn't enjoy my New Year's dinner, and up to now it hasn't returned. So fingers crossed again, it'll come back soon. Yeah, it's been a bloody nuisance. It's been a real cold from hell, So yeah, and the other thing I'd like to say, as we always do when I start these streams, if there's any problem at all with either the audio or visuals, please let me know, because I don't want to go on I don't want it to sort of show a very poor stream, Sorry guys, as I say, I've still got this bloody cough. Yeah, I don't want to sort of anything to go wrong, visual or audio wise. So do let me know if everything's okay, Okay then, guys. So yeah, it's great to be back in that, as I say, my first live stream for 2024, and I hope you all had a nice holiday in that, and picked up some good movies. I've been watching some of your videos and that, your pickups and that, and your ratings and that, and I've enjoyed them immensely. So yeah, great, yeah, great stuff, yeah. So, yeah, I've got a movie here I'd like to talk about, which I watched the other night out of that Michael J. Murphy box set, what I got for Christmas. The best movie so far, it really is, but more on that later. Okay, then, guys, so without further ado, I'm just going to go over to the comments now and see who we got in tonight. Okay, so the first one is, Am I Dead Yet? Hey, Alan and everyone, you okay? Thanks for stopping by. Happy New Year. Yeah. We've got Stephen here. Hi, Alan and everyone. Happy New Year, and a very happy New Year to you as well, Steve. Hope 2024 proves to be a peaceful and prosperous one for you. And we've got Jeff here. You okay, Jeff? Hello, Alan. Sorry for your cold isn't better. I know, it's a bloody nuisance, Jeff. It really is, yeah. I've took 2 lots of cop mixture now, and I say it seems to be gradually easing. It wasn't as bad as it was, but still pretty bad as you gathered. But as I say, lost me sense of taste and smell. But I believe a lot of people have gone down with this. It's this coffin bug and that. I know quite a few people who contracted this bug. So yeah, I don't know if it's a variant of COVID, I don't know, but it's some sort of vicious bug that's sweeping the nation. So yeah, so fingers crossed it abates soon. I say, what I hate most about, aside from the cough, not being able to taste me food, and I love me food, and it was pretty hellish at Christmas Day. I couldn't taste me dinner at all, and that, and the sweets afterwards, and that, the cake and that. So I think it's the worst Christmas I've ever had, to be honest. So, but as I say, fingers crossed that it'll sort of get better. We've got Vinny here. You okay, Vin? Hey, Alan, happy New Year to you and your family. Hope you get better soon. Thanks very much, Vin, mate. Yeah, I hope I get better soon. And that, it's been an absolute bummer, this cough. It really has, and yeah, it really has. I've got a bottle of water there anyway, so if it gets really bad, I can take a swig from that. But thanks. Jeff's asking me, what worst vampire film you've seen? I've seen a load of them every time. Oh, yeah. Alan, one that was highly rated by others. Now the one that springs to mind, this is just one of the many, is Renfield. I didn't like that at all. A lot of people liked it, and that they said Nicolas Cage was a good Dracula. I didn't think so, but everybody's got their own opinion. I'm not saying I don't I don't profess to be an arbiter of the best movies to watch. I'm just saying my opinion. I did not care for that at all. I'm just trying to think of another vampire one that I didn't like. There's been loads of low budget ones, you forgettable right from when you basically watch them, but yeah, real rare ones and that. But that's I wasn't too keen on that Renfield. I didn't like that other Dracula one going back a few years now, Gary Oldman, the Francis Ford Coppola. I didn't like that at all. Again, I know it's got its fans, but I did not like it. There's only one Dracula for me, and that's Christopher Lee. You know, nobody can take Dracula off like the late great Sir Christopher Lee. But yeah, they're just two anyway that springs to mind. I'm sure I'll think of more. Vampire Jack saying, evening all. You okay, Vampire Jack? Happy New Year. Thanks for turning up tonight. Really appreciate it. Edward say, okay, Ed. Happy New Year. Evening, Alan. Happy New Year. Hope you had a good Christmas. Oh, God. As I just said, good Christmas. What's your thoughts on the new movie, The First? What's your thoughts on the new movie, The First Omen? I didn't even know they were making The First Omen. Is this kind of like a retrospective narrative? You know, like flashing back to how it all began. If it is, I don't really think I'll be checking that out. I'm not a great fan of flashbacks, Ed. I don't like them at all. You know, it was a movie I was watching the other night, and it was nothing but bloody coming forward to the present, flashing back, coming forward. That was the haunting of the Queen Mary. I don't know if any of you have seen that one, but it was terrible. It started off in the olden days when the people were on the ship, the Queen Mary, and then it was coming forward. So when the girl comes on, she's writing, she's going to do a book about the Queen Mary, comes into modern times, and it goes back again, goes back. In the end, I lost interest, guys. I really did. I don't like a lot of intermittent flashbacks in me movies. It bore me senseless, yeah. So, yeah, but at this First Omen, I say I didn't even know they were making one. I'll have to check that out. But I loved all the Omen movies, well, most of the Omen movies anyway, especially the first one. Vampire Jack saying Gary Oldman's Dracula sucked. So yeah, excuse the pun. Yeah, it did suck big time. But I do know a lot of people did like it, so that's fine, you know. But it wasn't for me. And we've got the man himself here, Mr. Jamie Powell. You're right, Jamie. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Alan. Hope you're well. Well, I wouldn't say that, but I'm plodding on, you know. I bet you're looking forward to summertime now or not. Hope the family as well. Yeah, they're not too bad. Thanks, Jamie. Hope you and your family are well and that. Yeah, I've been watching your videos and that. They've been very good. Yeah, I've enjoyed them, yeah. But yeah, as I say, like me Christmas and New Year was totally ruined by this bloody awful cough from hell, you know. And as I say, losing me taste as well and that, you know. So I'm just saying, as I said before, fingers crossed, it'll clear up soon. Yeah, it's been a bloody nuisance, it has. Nice to have you along anyway. Am I dead? Yes. Renfield would have been a lot better if they had just focused on Renfield and not that cop and a revenge story with the gangster. Yeah, I suppose you could sort of like look at the front from that angle, couldn't you? Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't for me, unfortunately. And I did want to like it, like, because every time I see a new movie and it's got Dracula in it, I'm right there, you know, because Dracula is one of my all-time favourite movie monsters. I would say if anybody was to ask me what's your all-time favourites, 3 movie monsters, no question, Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, and Dracula. They're my 3 favourite movie monsters of all time, you know. So, but yeah, anything to do with Dracula, I'm right there. But I've watched a hell of a lot of really crap Dracula movies in my time, really bad, you know. I mean, I didn't like that one, the Voyage of the Demeter, you know. I wasn't too keen on that. And as I say, I didn't like the what's the name one, the Gary Oldman one. And then it's been loads and loads of low budget ones that I've watched over the years, and that instantly forgettable. And that, you know, I tell you what I don't like, guys. I don't know what you lot think. You know, when you get a movie with Dracula in it, but it's sort of like concentrate more on the retrospective narrative, if you know what I mean. Well, what I mean by that is it concentrates on Dracula when he was like a warlord and that, you know, he's sort of like leading an army and that, you know. Yeah, sort of like, I don't like those kind of Dracula movies. I like the ones like as exemplified by Christopher Lee, you know, just sort of like basically like in the cloak and that, and sort of like just going to town with the victims and that, you know, and of course Van Helsing and that, his adversary. They're the kind of Dracula movies I like. I'm not all for this barbarian stuff. It bores me senseless, it really does, yeah. So, yeah, sorry, guys. I think this calls for a drink of water, don't you? Oh, my God. Talk about the cough from hell. It's been awful, it really, yeah, but as I say, a lot of people have caught it and that, you know, so it's really bad bug. Let's see who we've got next. We've got Danny Dukes. Okay, Dan. Hi, hope you're all good and Happy New Year. Well, I'm semi-good, as you most probably gathered. But Happy New Year, Dan. I hope it turns out to be a peaceful and prosperous one for you. Fingers crossed. I'll tell you what, guys, I don't know about you, but the year seems to be going by really quick. I mean, it only seems like yesterday I left bloody school in 1977 when punk rock was all a go. You know, everywhere you look, you know, I used to get the record mirror in those days and that, because I was mad on ABBA, and I always wanted to see if ABBA were in it and that, you know. But I liked other bands as well, you know, Slade, Sweet, all them, you know. I liked the Motors as well. They didn't have all that many hits. But yeah, I did have a pretty wide range of interests in that, you know, in the 70s as regards bands. But yeah, I say only things like yesterday I left school and that, you know, done my exams and that's it now. I'm out of here. Just shows you how time flies. Let's see if we got next. We've got Jeff again. And Jeff's saying, I don't like prequels, but 2011, what? Is that the thing you mean there, Jeff? I presume you mean the thing. The remake was good. It's ages since I saw that. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of, I think you know this, I'm not really a fan of the Thing movies and that, you know, they just, I mean, the first one they made with Kurt Russell in, watched that loads of times, and I still can't sort of like acclimatise myself to liking it and that, you know. It's okay. It's not I wouldn't say it was I wouldn't say it was a bad movie. It's okay. But it's not one of the movies what I go to, if you know what I mean. You know, say like I fancy watching a good classic. That is not immediately one of the ones that comes to mind, you know. But I do know it's got a huge fan following. But I like the what I like about that. I like the snowy setting, you know. I like the snowy setting, and I like the monster's okay. Yeah, it didn't really scare me. Yeah, but it's okay. It's not one of me. As I say, it's not one of my favourite films. But yeah, it's average for me. Sorry, guys. Salmon Farsi saying, how are you? Yeah, well, as you can see, I'm still afflicted with the cough from hell. But other than that, I'm not too bad. Hope you are as well. Happy New Year, by the way. We've got Am I Dead? Yes, here. And she's saying, you prefer the old school movie monsters. How does the newer movie monsters like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers compared to the old ones? Well, I do like them, but there's only one problem, particularly with Freddy Krueger. They put too much bloody comedy in. They ruined that character. First one, brilliance. Oh, yeah. When I first watched that first Nightmare on Elm Street, way back in the mid-80s, I was enthralled, as a lot of people were. I love Freddy's Revenge as well. I think that's a great one. Very, very dark Freddy. Very serious Freddy. Nightmare on Elm Street, you could begin to see the sort of like the little segments of comedy slowly seeping in. But it was a good, enjoyable movie. But after that, I'm afraid they went right downhill for me. The Dream Master, you know, the Dream Child. Oh, yeah, I lost interest. Moving on to Jason Voorhees. I like most of his movies, yeah. Wasn't too keen on the one where Jason Goes to Hell, where they chop him up. Wasn't too keen on that. Michael Myers, again, pretty much of a mixed bag. First couple of movies I liked, but my favourite ones are the first two, Halloween 1978 and Halloween 2, where he's in the hospital. You know, so they could have been one big movie. And then a couple of YouTubers have said this as well. They could have been one big movie, and that, you know, would have been like an epic. But I didn't mind them doing like his, you know, splitting it up and that. Didn't like part 3. Less said about that, the better. I'm just not a fan of that one. After that, when he brought Michael back, yeah, I don't know. The series, for me, it lost something. I don't know what you guys think. It seems to lose the magic of the first two movies. They were watchable, they were enjoyable, they were fun for what they were. But they just seem to, they didn't have the, you know, the, if you like, the X factor of the first two, you know. But I do like those movie monsters. I do like, I'm a great fan of what's the name as well. I like the Hatchet movies; they're pretty good. And I like Wolf Creek. Yeah, John Jarvis. I think he's a very good horror character. I think we're going to be waiting forever for Wolf Creek 3, don't you guys? But he's been busy, hasn't he, making this series, which I didn't care for. What I didn't like about that, it concentrated too much on the female protagonist and not enough on Nick Taylor, you know, the villain. So I didn't bother. I didn't bother watching series 2. But yeah, they're bound to, like, if they are going to make it, like, it's bound to come out eventually. But God, we've waited, haven't we, for that? But yeah, I do like it, as well as the old movie monsters. I do like, that's to say, some of the modern ones and that. It's just some of the films were a bit dodgy, you know, towards the end. As the series went on, they went a little bit lame, you know. Who have we got next? We've got Vampire Jack, and he's saying The Invitation is a good one. The Invitation. Now, what was that one now? Trying to think. Yeah, it's the name's familiar. If you say who's in it and that, it'll probably set me memory off and I remember it and that. But yeah, it rings a bell, that one. Excuse me, guys, just having a drink. Yeah, so I'm sorry about this, guys, but you know, if you've had the cough from hell, you know exactly the state I'm in. And we've got Yam Yams Talkies, and they're saying you've missed some comments on an unpopular opinion, but I prefer Freddy in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Oh, missed some comments. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's not intentional. It's just that, like, the comments come in so fast. It's very easy, you know, to sort of like miss people out. It's happened to me as well when I've been on people's streams. You know, you might think they're ignoring you, but in reality, they just basically, you know, inadvertently missed you out. So sorry about that. Yeah, so you're saying what? Yeah, but I prefer Freddy in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake over the original. All right. Well, everybody's got their own taste, haven't they? Right. Sorry, guys. I'm just comments. Jeff's saying to me, March the 1st is your birthday, and if I recall, yeah. And I don't want it to come too quick. I do not like them coming now. No, I don't like birthdays coming now at all. No. Danny's saying, I hope it's a good one. I have that cough too, Alan. Oh, you have my sympathies, Dan. Yeah, I share a lot of empathy with you. You know, I say, I hope it clears up for you. You know, one of the worst coughing bugs I've ever contracted. Jeff's saying, did you see Peter Cushing in Tender Dracula? I didn't like. I haven't watched that one yet, Jeff. I haven't read anything about it. So yeah, I can't say it until I've seen it. You know. KN is saying, what's the title? Nightmare on Elm Street is a reference to the assassination of JFK. I don't know. Just the film title, as far as I know. Jeff Joffrey saying, I was reading about a TV series the BBC made in the early 1970s that was a bit like Hammer House of Horror, but the BBC wiped all the episodes, so nothing exists. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Wiped all the episodes. So nothing exists, but a lot of good actors were in it. Oh, would have liked to have seen that series, Jeff. There was a couple of like BBC series, horror series made in the both by BBC and ITV actually. I've got one or two there. The only thing is, you don't get many episodes. You know, Tales of Unease is a good one. Highly recommend that one. Yeah, and of course you've got the longer ones, haven't you? You've got like you've got Tales of the Unexpected, which was first shown in 1979. I've got the big box set of that, and Thriller, Brian Clements' Thriller. That's it. That's a great one. That made in 1973, I think it started. Yeah, that's a great one. Thriller. I hope they do a Blu-ray release of that soon. Love Thriller. Yeah. Right, let's just scroll down a bit, guys. KN saying, I pre-ordered the Pete Walker Blu-ray box set. I want that one myself, due in March, I think. But the only thing is with that, I'll only buy it if it's got loads and loads of more features that aren't on the single ones that I've got. And also, it's a step up in picture quality. Otherwise, I might pass on it because there's no point in me buying a box set. There's no difference. It's no different to the one I've already got. Well, I've got them single and have the Pete Walker movie. I love Pete Walker. It's a beautiful set. I've seen many photographs of it, and it's very, very tempting, just like the Psycho set was and that. Yeah. So yeah, I'll see. I'll read more into that the more near it comes, and that you start, doing the preliminary promotional, photos and that, and I'll come to a decision then whether to fork out for it, because you've got to be very careful, guys, as you probably know yourselves, when you're going to buy a box set. You've got to make, you take the chance, really. It's a big gamble. You don't know if the films are going to be crap or they're going to be good, So, yeah, that's just a chance you take, isn't it, really? Yam Yam's Talkies is saying, no problem, no need to worry. You've done nothing wrong, Gus. Just thought I'd mention it. And Wolf Creek Series 2 was great, right? The first series was disappointing, though, as you said. I haven't seen the second one because I didn't like the first one, but I might check series 2 out if you said it's good. I might do, yeah, but I didn't like the first one at all. It's what about the girl and him? Am I dead? Yes, it says St. David's Day. Oh, yes, St. David's Day, March the 1st. Yeah. Don't like to be reminded of my birthday. Right. Vinny's saying, Alan, I have been watching your DVD review over the Christmas holidays. Tombs of the Blind Dead sounds like a great film. Tombs of the Blind Dead is indeed a superb film, as are all sequels, and I would highly recommend them. If you haven't seen the Blind Dead movies, guys, I highly recommend them. Very, very unusual. A lot of people think, a lot of people have this preconceived notion, it's not a zombie movie, when he's seen, no, they're different. They're zombie-like, but they've also got like cannibal tendencies as well. And they also ride horses as well. They're basically like the Knight Templars and that, from years ago, resurrected and that, and they're blind and that, but they've got very, very acute senses and that, they can, if they're chasing a human, even though they're blind, they can go right to the human, pinpoint where the human's running to. Very, very unusual movies, and absolutely, redolent with atmosphere, absolutely redolent with atmosphere. You've got like the creepy crypt and that, where they're buried and that. You've got the stunning scenery and that, where the movies were located and that. You've got good actors and that. I would highly recommend The Blind Dead. That new one I've got is very good. Loads of good special features in it and that. The other ones I've got like are the foreign versions, but hopefully they might release, I think it's Severin that released that one. I'm sure it's Severin. They might release more, the other 3 movies and that, so I'll definitely be getting them. But yeah, I'd highly recommend The Blind Dead if you haven't seen them. I loved them. Yeah, very, very. They've got a good rewatchability factor as well, guys. Yeah, The Blind Dead, very good. We've got Leslie here, Leslie Russell. Hello, Alan. You okay, Les? Happy New Year. Hello, Alan, everyone. Halloween and Friday the 13th were taken from Psycho. Yeah, I suppose you've got like elements of that, haven't they? You've got that sort of like slasher. You've got that slasher narrative, have you? The knife and that, And but yeah, I suppose like when you think about it, there's a little bit of Psycho in every one of those Halloween and Friday the 13th. There's been loads and loads of spin-offs, hasn't there, of Psycho? I don't know how many times I've seen the shower scene replicated. I don't know about you guys, but it's been replicated that much. Sometimes it's become like a bit of a spoof, hasn't it? Like Bela Lugosi's Hungarian accents, Yeah, I am Dracula. Yeah, but yeah, I suppose like if something like if a trope's repeated and repeated and repeated, you're going to get to the stage in the end where people start laughing at it, finding it amusing, and that's just the way that's just the way it is, isn't it? That's just the way the horror genre is. I mean, a lot of people laugh at The Exorcist now, don't they? Whereas when it first came out, they crapped their pants, didn't they, when they first saw it and that, yeah. I've heard a lot of bad things about that new one. I won't be watching that. And Ellen Burstyn, I believe, she wasn't going to be in that one. Yeah, she's something like, she doubled her salary and she was going to give it to charity. Something, I don't know the full story, but I believe she was wasted in it. Yeah, but I don't think I'll be watching that. No, not a fan. Jeff says, I watched all 4 Tombs of the Blind Dead. I enjoyed them too. Vampire Jack. The 4 official Blind Dead movies are cool. Yeah. The other movies, not so much. Yeah, they've done later ones, 1 or 2 later ones. I was not impressed with them at all. But yeah, as I say, if you haven't seen The Blind Dead, I'd highly recommend, you get them or rent them out. I'm going to talk about that film in a minute, guys, from the Michael Murphy set I watched the other night. Oh, yeah, I was absolutely hooked from start to finish. Really, really good movie. The only little defect was that it was shot on like a kind of like a camcorder setup. So there was a couple of seconds in the movie that didn't look as good as the bulk of the movie. But having said that, it's a really good watch. I'll talk about it a bit more in a minute. Movie's called Secrets, by the way. Jeff's saying, I love dub films. I can't stand the subtitles. And no, I'm not really a fan of subtitles. The movie's got to be really good for me to get, fork out for a movie with subtitles or think it's going to be good. They are distracting for what's going on screen, especially if you get a lot of dialogue as well, what you've got to read. Because by the time you've read the dialogue, you've moved on to the other bloody scene, haven't they? Yeah. So, I'm not really a fan of subtitle films. Yam Yam's talkies. I miss the days where almost all DVDs and HMV were 5 for 20. I know, I remember them well. And Blu-rays 5 for 30. Do you remember? Oh, as I just said, I do remember. Yeah, I was forever in there, coming out like 5 and that, 5 for 20 and that, and other bargains they had in that, and sometimes they have the 2 for 15 on an HMV, don't they? Pick some those up when I can. Oh yeah, I love a good bargain. Right. Yeah, just waiting for some more comments to come through, guys. Yeah, so any of you guys been watching any good modern horror movies and that? Yeah, discuss. I'd be very interested in that, to hear what you thought of them, yeah. But I watched a good one the other night. I don't know if you guys have seen the Humpty Dumpty series. They just made a third one now. And it's very, very good. I won't tell you about it. But yeah, I enjoyed it immensely. Good picture quality as well. I rented it off Amazon, so I liked it that much. I'm going to add it to my collection. So the first Humpty Dumpty was good, and the second one, that's on its way actually. But this third one, it's come out. I highly recommend it. Yeah, very good. It's like a kind of like a haunted, a Humpty Dumpty puppets and that, but it's got so many layers to it as well. So yeah, good watch. Brian's asking me. Sorry guys, what movies are you looking forward to this year? Well, nothing springs to mind right away. I'll have to say. I'm trying to think. I'd like to see the new Salem's Lot finally see the light of day. Waited ages for that, but I'm not building my hopes up that it's going to be on a par with the David Soul one from 1979, which is my number one Salem's Lot movie. The rest pale by comparison. But what's any other ones I'd like to see? Oh, there's one, guys. I watch a lot of horror movie trailers. It's about a werewolf. It's called Walpurgis Night. Walpurgis Night. I watched the trailer the other night and the werewolf looks awesome. Yeah, I've looked everywhere on the internet, but it hasn't got an official release date yet. But watch out for that one, Walpurgis Night. It's not the old Paul Naschy one, because I believe he did one called Walpurgis Night. This is a new one. So watch out for that one, Walpurgis Night. I was in Asda earlier on this evening, and I came across one called the Santa Werewolf one. I was going to pick it up and that, but I read the blurb, I thought it looked a bit cheesy, especially Christmas is now over, so I didn't bother with that. And then they had that other one as well, that Grinch one. Is it the Mean one or something? I had a look at that, and again, it looked a bit cheesy, so I passed on that one, yeah. But I'm just trying to think if there's any horror movies out this year. Nothing springs to mind, as I say, just the ones I've mentioned and that. But I'll keep watching the trailers anyway and watching you guys doing your videos. And if there's any there, I'll make a note of and discuss in the next live stream. We've got Jeff back saying that new Godzilla movie seems to be getting rave reviews. I believe so, Jeff. Yeah, quite a few people like that one, don't they? Yeah, he's saying there, as you say, it's getting a lot of rave reviews. I'll most probably either rent it out or watch it in that, when it becomes available. I don't go to the pictures now just stay at home, watch the movies. Vampire Jack, I'm looking forward. Oh, you've just jogged me memory. Terrifier 3, that's if it's definitely out this year. That is one movie I will definitely watch. Yeah, Terrifier 3. Thanks very much for that. For, giving a nod to me memory there, a little nudge to me memory. Terrifier 3, yeah, as I say, I think it will be out by Halloween, so I suppose, yeah, that could be one I'm looking forward to. Yam Yam's Talkies are saying, what do you think a fair price is for DVDs and Blu-rays? I think £5. I think £5 for DVD, £8 to £10 for Blu-ray. DVD box sets £20 maximum, and Blu-ray box sets £30 maximum. I think they're more fair prices. What do you think? I agree. Yeah, pretty much agree. Yeah, it's reasonable. That £5 for a DVD, 8 to 10 for Blu-ray. DVD box sets £20. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, couldn't argue with that. I must say the 4Ks are overpriced. I've had a couple of 4Ks now, guys, and all the ones I've had have been dark. The picture's been too dark, so I'm a bit reluctant now to get 4Ks and that. It's not in my opinion, and I believe a lot of YouTubers share this opinion. Not all that great leap of a quality in compared to from DVD to Blu-ray. That is a major step up. But Blu-ray, from Blu-ray to 4K, no, nowhere near. So yeah, that Psycho box set, dark. The picture was dark, so I went back to the Screen Factory ones. There was a couple of others as well. You couldn't see their faces and that. I don't like that. I mean, a lot of the horror movies now are bloody dark as it is, aren't they? You can't see what's going on. And the last thing you want is for your classics to be come out, being sort of like come over as being too dark as well. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to cut down now on the 4Ks because the ones I've bought, the picture's been dark. But yeah, I think the Blu-rays are about the best. I think that's the best quality in my opinion. Now it's funny. I knew this question would pop up at some points in the proceedings, and that is Vinny is saying, Alan, when are we going to see your DVD collection? I've been asking you this question for years and years. You've been asking me this question since Adam walked the earth. Just my little joke. No, it's coming. Don't panic. It's coming. I've been bad. I've had a cold. I've had a lot of things to catch up on, writing to catch up on. Remember, I write as well as doing my videos. I'm a writer, so I've got to keep on top of that. Other things as well as cropped up various things and that, but yeah, I will get round to that. It's just I haven't had the time lately in that. But in the new year, I'll make that one of my New Year's resolutions. I must do a video showing me my DVD and Blu-ray collection. It's coming. So don't worry. I haven't forgotten. Right, Yam's Talkies are saying, Terrifier is my most anticipated 3 of the year. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Terrifier 3. They'll have to really step up the game, won't they? To sort of like transcend what they done in the second one. That girl in the bedroom. Oh my days! One of the most horrific stomach churning scenes in horror movie history. That was. But yeah, very much looking forward to Terrifier 3. Jeff's asking me, what do you think of this idea of making new horror films starring old dead actors? I don't agree with it. It's weird. Using deepfake and CGI. I just don't agree with it. I know it might some people's cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. I didn't like what they done with ABBA, the hieroglyphics. Now it's not them. It's all right. You can go and watch them and that. Recapture, get some sort of idea if they were eternally youthful, what they would look like now. But having said that, it's not them. You're just watching a pile of very sophisticated lighting effects, all combined to make it what it appears to be a realistic pop performer. They did the same with Elvis. They done it with other stars as well. I don't like that. There's just something false about it. I wouldn't like to see Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing come back as a CGI. No, not for me. That. Yam's Talkies are saying. Yes, 4Ks are overpriced. Yeah, In my opinion, so some of the box sets as well. In my opinion, Blu-rays has the best quality, yeah, in my opinion, because for me, 4K, they are dark and the picture looks faffed about. Blu-rays are my favourites, but I'll always love DVDs. I love DVDs as well. And sometimes the DVD is on a par with the Blu-ray. You know, watch the DVD and you think it was a Blu-ray that you were watching. But you're that Humpty Dumpty, watched it on standard definition on Amazon. You think it was a Blu-ray. You know, it's very, very good, yeah. But yeah, I don't... the more I watch 4Ks, they're not really... I don't really rate them. I do know a lot of people love them and swear by them, but I don't think I'll be buying any more, guys. The ones I've bought, they're too dark. Jeff Joffey. These dark films, I had to turn the brightness up to 100 and it still wasn't bright enough. Yeah, you know what I read about that, something like it's all that down to that these filmmakers trying to, for convenience sake and cutting costs. Yeah, something about like when they're shooting them, you can do the editing easier or something on the mobile phones. I don't know how that works out. Or on whatever little sort of like little portable film mix is what they've got. So they make the movies darker to make it quicker. So I don't profess to be an arbiter of the technicalities of filmmaking, but that's what I've heard anyway. You know, they sort of like it's more easy for them to edit, but they're sacrificing a hell of a lot of like aesthetics, guys. You know, they really are. And if you can't make a horror movie that looks beautiful and that, and a good story and that, you know, looks like it's been filmed in a bloody coal mine, I say don't bother. You know, a lot of these I coined the phrase, I call it the dirty dishwater colour, because it looks like some just thrown dirty dishwater all over the screen and that, you know, made a mess of it and that. But a lot of these horror movies now, they're far too dark, and not only that, guys, you got to factor in the sound part in, because a lot of these actors now, they mumble the lines, you don't know what the hell they're saying. Even when you turn the telly up, they're still going. So what did he say? What did he say? You know, and oh yeah, they don't seem to care now, guys. I don't know what you think. Like a lot of these filmmakers. Do you know what? It's a treat when you get. You know, it's very, very rare now. You watch a modern horror movie. It's a real treat to sit down and watch a well-made movie with good characters, good story, and you know, nice effect, nice picture, and that. You know, that's why the Hammer films did so well. They knew how to make a horror movie. They had the X factor. The films were beautiful. Great actors, legends like Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Michael Gough, Barbara Shelley. Oh yeah, Hammer, right, number one for me, the number one British horror company, Hammer. I've got a fantastic book, by the way, for Christmas, all about the Hammer Studios. I'll do a video on that at some point in the next week or so. It tells you everything you need to know about Hammer. It's packed with photos and that, so watch out for that. But yeah, I don't like the colour now what they use, and my mum says the same thing, and other people said the same thing. They don't like the colour a lot of these horror movies, like these directors and producers are using to make the movies. It's just awful, really awful. Sorry guys, I just making sure I haven't missed any comments here. We've got Yam Yam's talk. He's saying I'm going to be filming my horror short film this year. Oh, watch out for that. Very low budget, though. I'm the only one in it, haha. I'm going to do everything. It's a passion project. I have the story set, but very nervous. It's funny you should say that, because I've just finished my own little movie. I don't want to say too much about it, guys, at the moment. But I've sort of like put different things together and that, you know, done a little bit of a story. So watch out for that. It's got a twist at the end, yeah. So I think I'm a long way away from Steven Spielberg and John Carpenter. Long way away from them. Just a little bit of fun. I thought to myself, you know, I'll make a little horror movie and that. So watch out for that. I don't want to say anything more about it at the moment. I'll just put it on and let you see what you see for yourselves. You know, hope you like it anyway. Yam Yam's talkies are saying, but I love video editing. Yeah, I don't mind it myself, provided it doesn't get too complicated and that. You know, I like to keep things easy and that, you know. Brian Gilson, that's not to say to the detriment of the movie. You know, we always make sure the movie's nice and that, you know, or the video before I unleash it onto the YouTube community. You okay, Brian? Nice to have you along. Yam talkies. I wish you all the best of luck with your short film. I'd echo that sentiment, yeah. All the very best. Anybody who's making a short film, or anybody who fancy themselves trying to hand at a horror movie, I wish you more power to you. You know, you could become the John Carpenter, the new John Carpenter. Who knows? If you don't try, you don't get, do you? Yeah, I always admire anybody who takes the step making their own little movies and that. I think it's very good. Yeah, all for that. Always support people like that, make their own movies. Yam Yam's Talkies is saying, I'm not a 4K collector. I do have a few. Scarface is my favorite film. Good film. Favorite film of all time, and I have it 3 times on 4K in different editions. But I own it. I own it 18 times in total on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, and Laserdisc. In other words, you don't like the movie all that much. No, I'm only joking. Yeah, yeah, Grace. Yeah, it's a good movie. Scarface, good gangster movie, a good story. Grace. Yeah. Let's have a little swig, guys. Right, guys, as promised, I'm going to discuss that movie now. I was saying to you about before. It's from the Michael J. Murphy set, and it was the first one that I watched, and it's a movie called Secrets. There's a still. That blonde girl there, she's an absolute bitch. She's the blonde from hell. She really is. Oh, God. She really is evil, yeah. And there's the poor girl who goes to absolute hell, who's got the inheritance and that, and they're after her money basically, and that, you know. And you get all sorts of like shenanigans going on. The husband, like he's having an affair with this devil in disguise, this blonde and that, you know. And there's all sorts of things you do, you know, to sort of like either drive her nuts or kill her and that, you know. It's very Hitchcockian, and I'd highly recommend it. Yes, Secrets. It was made in 1977. And it's 88 minutes long, and it was shot on 16 millimeter, which, as I said before, that's why sometimes in some parts of the film it'll be like it won't be as good. The picture won't be as good quality as most of the movie, but it's very, very watchable. And it's got lovely Greek scenery as well. You know, lovely scenery, great acting and that. And as I say, she's an absolute bitch. That blonde, she's gorgeous to look at, but God, she's cold-hearted, guys. She really is. Yeah. Yes, it reminds you of that song with your long blonde hair and your eyes are blue. The only thing I got from you was sorrow. Just she sums her up. She's the personification of the icy evil blonde. She's one of the most evil blondes I've ever seen in a movie, guys. I won't say any more about it. If you get the box set, you might even be able to rent it. I don't know. You might even be able to rent Secrets on Amazon, but it's great. It's a real good movie. It had me grip from start to finish. I don't think I've enjoyed a movie, really enjoyed a movie, I mean, like from start to finish for quite a while, aside from Humpty Dumpty. But even this was better than Humpty Dumpty, Secrets and that. So this is the first disc from the Michael J. Murphy box set. I'll just show it inside. Yeah, there's still one of the movies as well. And there's actually, there's other movies. There's a couple of shorts on here as well. You've got like Invitation to Hell. That was like a kind of a folk horror. I watched that the other night. These group of people, this girl on the pretext of a Halloween party to a doom, basically. So that's Invitation to Hell. The Last Night, Death in the Family, Stay the Cell, and then you've got Tristan and Isolde, Happy Ever After, Secrets, and Almost a Movie. Yeah, so that's just the first disc, guys. But yeah, this is a great one, this Secrets. I highly recommend it. If you like a good Hitchcockian movie, get Secrets and that, you know. I loved it. It was great. Oh yeah, as I say, she is a right bitch, yeah. And you really felt for the poor girl and that, you know, especially when she ended up in the wheelchair and that. But that's just a little tiny part of the movie. I won't say any more. But if you like your good psychological thrillers, watch Secrets. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Okay, we're getting back now, guys, to the comments. Jeff's saying, I'm fascinated by these alternative American movie titles. Count Dracula and His Vampire Bride. Yeah, I know. Is actually The Satanic Rites of Dracula. And then there's another title, wasn't it, Jeff? Dracula is Alive and Well and Living in London. That was another one. And then Dracula Today. That was another title. There's a lot of these titles got bandied about in the Hammer studio world before they actually opted for that, you know, the official title. Yeah. But it's like the Roman Polanski one, isn't it? Dance to the Vampires, and got another title. Pardon me, but my teeth are in your neck. That was just one title. The Fearless Vampire Killers. That's a great one. There, I'm going to do a full review of that, starring one of my favourite actresses, Sharon Tate. and her husband, Roman Polanski. So watch out for a full review of Dance of the Vampires. Yeah, I love that movie. I love the part where the vampires are chasing Sharon Tate and her boyfriend and that, but Roman Polanski. And they're going down there, instead of using sleighs to go down the snowy hill, they get into coffins and sort of like ski down the hill in the coffins. Oh, it's brilliant and that, yeah. And the vampire hunter, he's a right bloody gorp, he really is. He's an old guy with a bloody big moustache and this bloody mop of white curly hair. He's a right bloody dope. And Roman Polanski's his assistant and that, the bloody, when it comes to killing vampires, don't ever summon these. They're bloody hopeless, yeah. But I'll do a full review of it, guys. It's great. I love it. Right, go down to the next comments. Yam Yam's talk, he's just saying to Brian Gilson, thank you very much, champ. Vinny's saying, Alan, I'm with you on the horror movie. Best movies are Hammer, yeah. Hammer and Universal and Amicus, they're my 3 favourites. Hammer horror movies of the 60s, yeah, and 70s, yeah. I grew up on all of them, Vin. Yeah, I always watched them. I used to love the double bill as well. Every Saturday night on BBC Two, they'd show an old one like Night of the Demon, and then he'd show a modern one like The Scars of Dracula, starring Christopher Lee. Yeah, oh yeah, those were the days. Yeah, and you guarantee, I've said this before, when you saw Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in a movie together, you guarantee you were in for a whale of a time. When those two icons were paired together. Those two Hammer stalwarts were paired together in a movie. You were in for a real good, enjoyable roller coaster ride. Yeah, definitely. Right, we've got some new comments here. I'm just trying to be careful, guys. I don't miss anybody out because there's nothing worse because you don't want people to think I'm ignoring them, Jeff's saying, Alan and Yam Yam, you're the new Alfred Hitchcock. I wouldn't go that far. But I've got great admiration for Alfred Hitchcock. Yeah, I'm a huge Hitchcock fan. My favourite Alfred Hitchcock movies are Psycho, Frenzy, The Birds. They're my 3 favourites, I didn't like those ones who done the espionage ones, Torn Curtain. I wasn't too keen on them. Strangers on a Train is not bad. That's not a bad movie. But my 3 favourite Hitchcocks are as I said, Psycho, The Birds and Frenzy. Fantastic. He was a master of his craft, wasn't he, Hitchcock? I used to like the cameos he used to do as well when he used to pop up, in his movies and that, just see him for a minute and that, yeah. But, he knew his stuff, didn't he? I like this TV series as well, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I've got the big box set of that, every single episode. There's some pretty good gems in that as well. And I believe they made some in colour as well. They made some new ones, they sort of superimposed Alfred Hitchcock's black and white image, they colorised it, and he made some new episodes. So I'm very keen to check those out as well. Right. Yam Yam saying to Jeff, I'll never be Hitchcock. There's only 2 Hitchcock, but I'm hoping to be the first Brett, aka Yam Yam. Am I dead yet? Saying one of the best remakes ever, De Palma's. Is that Scarface? Is that Scarface? I presume it's Scarface, is it? It's Scarface. Jeff Joffrey, haha. Leslie's saying a lot of American horror. It's taken from Hammer 2, Salem's Lot, Dance of the Vampires, and Plague of the Zombies. That's a good one, Leslie. Plague of the Zombies. I like that one. John Carson's in that. He's good in that. I like John Carson. He's very good in Taste of Blood of Dracula as well. Yeah, great actor, John Carson. Yam Yam. Sorry, guys. Yam Yam says, true, Alan. I can't stand Scarface. I have it 28 times because I despise it. It's awful. Joking. Yes, I love it. Yeah, well, you've got to love it, haven't you? If you've got it that many bloody times. Goodness me. Stephen's saying, I've been watching the Cushion Curiosities box set. Enjoying it so far. Oh, that's good to hear. I haven't started it yet. I'm busy I'm busy working my way through the Michael J. Murphy box set. You know, well, as soon as I finish that, I'll start on Cushion Curiosities. Yeah, all the movies and that I've never seen, so it'll be exciting to watch. You know. Jeff's saying, power to you, Yam Yam. Yeah, that's certainly echo that sentiment. Yam Yam says there's only one Hitchcock. Yeah. Many tried to emulate him, haven't he, though? Yam Yam's talkies. Jeff Joffey, thanks, champ. Jeff's asking me, Alan, can 16mm be upscaled to high definition quality? Do you know what, Jeff? I'm not too sure. As I say, I don't profess to be a technophobe in regards to the nitty gritty of filmmaking, but it'd be good if it could, because that's it. As I just spoke about before, that Secrets. If you could do a job, you put that, remaster that in high definition. Oh God, it'd be awesome, yeah. Especially the lovely Greek scenery and that, and like the mansion's very creepy as well. What the girls inherited and that, Oh, it's a great movie. That Secrets. I highly recommend it. Yeah. If you get that box set, or anybody gets that box set, that Michael J. Murphy, Mutilation, Murder, Mayhem, I'd recommend you start with Secrets. It's a cracking film. Yeah, I've never enjoyed a movie so much as I've enjoyed that one. Oh yeah, the characters and that, they're really good. Very good. There's a lot of twists and turns as well. A lot of twists and turns, but you always enjoy in a movie. Jeff Joffey. Yam Yam's talk. He's the magic, myth and mutilation. That's it, yeah. Magic, myth and mutilation says, what I love about that set is the director's films are low budgets too. They're all passion projects for him, yeah. And he pays hit cast and crew by taking them on holidays, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Good locations, yeah. Let's go, guys. Just get a bit comfortable on my chair. That's it. Back gets a bit stiff sitting upright. Yam Yam's saying also the director and the actors and crew, there's a lot of heart in them. Yeah, definitely. If you put your heart and soul in a project and that, it's if it pays off, well, the world's your oyster, really, isn't it? Christian's here. Okay, Christian. Sorry. Hey, Alan, you seen the trailer for the new Omen film? No, just saying before. Don't know anything about it. Hey, Christian. Bit of a mad one. This is a prologue. I thought it might be a prologue. Yeah, I thought it might be a prologue. This is a prologue before everything. So still watch. It's called The First Omen. But I can't see us having a patch on the original, pal. No, I think you'll be right, Christian. It's like they've done that Pet Sematary, haven't they? Bloodlines and prequels. I'm not a fan of prequels at all. I just don't like them. I don't like anything that goes back all the time. I like to sort of I like things to be linear and move on. I don't like them to go back. Like you don't want to know. They did the same with a couple of the other characters as well. He went back into the history, like Michael Myers. Expanded on his history. You don't really want to know. You like them to have that dark and mysterious aspect, don't you? You don't want a big bloody detailed sort of like what's the name breakdown of all of it or what happened to him as a kid and that. They just go along with the horror character. Jeff's saying the actor who played the gay vampire in Fearless Vampire Killers was very scary. He was pretty creepy. He chased poor Roman Polanski all around the castle, didn't he? That scene when he tries to seduce Roman and runs after him. Yeah, he was quite scary, him, yeah. Yeah. Good fun movie, though, yeah. I watched a bit talking about Sharon Tate in that movie. I watched it in a movie last night. The Wrecking Crew with Dean Martin, that Mass Helm Blu-ray that's come out with Dean Martin, where he plays the agent Mass Helm. It's a kind of like spoof on James Bond, But Sharon Tate was in the one last night and that. It didn't really see all that much of her, really. But she was good in it, like, you know, yeah. Am I dead yet? Yes, Scarface, spelling mistake. I thought it was, yeah. Yam Yam's talkies. I have it 18 times, not 28, sorry. I type pretty quick and I pressed the wrong number. It's all right, don't worry about it. Edward's asking me, what's your thoughts on the Vault of Horror? I love the Vault of Horror. It's one of my all-time favourite Amicus anthology movies, yeah. I love the story with Kurt Jurgens where he nicks the Indian rope trick act, you know, the girl playing the flute and the rope goes up and that. I love that one. I love the framing story where you go in the lift and that, and it goes down to this room and that, and there's all drinks laid on for them. This posh vault and that, you know, deep down and that. I love Vault of Horror, and the part with the Anna Massey and there's a Daniel Massey, a brother in it together, where he goes into the cafe and they're all vampires. Yeah, it's very good. And the Tom Baker one where he's an artist and that, and he gets his work criticised and that, and he gets his own back on the critics, doesn't he, in the most horrible ways imaginable. And he goes to the voodoo fella, doesn't he, in the jungle, and he says to him, you no need voodoo, you draw. And he tells him to put his hands in this boiling pot, and once he puts his hands in, he's got the power to draw pictures of people and something happens to them. A bit like the girl in that episode of Creepshow 4 I was telling you about, guys, Doodle. If you've got Creepshow 4 and you've seen Doodle, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't got Creepshow 4, I would recommend you go to Doodle, you know, watch that because it's a great one, yeah. But yeah, very reminiscent of that one. But yeah, I love Vault of Horror. I love all the Amicus. I love all the Amicus horror anthologies, Edward, every single one. There's not one bad one. You know, I love them all. Silence, House of Drip, Blood, Tales from the Crypt, that's my number one. Dr. Terror's House of Horrors, I love them all. I grew up on them. Yeah, and I've even got some of the old horror EC horror comics in these big volumes, coloured volumes and that. Yeah, I love me horror anthologies. And I'm always on the lookout as well for a new horror anthology, but is it a bit of a hit and miss? To be honest, I had one last year, guys. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called The Witching Season. Didn't like it. Then there's another one as well. All the Creatures Were Staring, a Christmas horror anthology. Again, I didn't like it. Yeah, but there's only been one or two really that's been any good, you know. I like the What's the Name anthology ones. All Hallows Eve, you know, where What's the Name made his debut. Art the Clown, I like them. They're good. I just ordered the Blu-ray of All Hallows Eve 2 because I've got the DVD. I didn't realise they'd done a Blu-ray of it, so I've just ordered that. So that should be that will be in my next horror pickups video in a couple of weeks' time. So watch out for that. So did any of you guys watch any ghost stories over Christmas or any horror movies, any good ones? Discuss. I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. I watched the Christmas Ghost, the traditional ghost story for Christmas. The one was at Loft 429, the Arthur Conan Doyle one. It was okay. Nothing really fantastic in that. I prefer the one that Whistler, I'll come to you, my lad, where he finds the flute on the beach and that, and it's attached to a spirit. I like it. I like the Signal Man as well, the Charles Dickens one. But this one was more like a mummy kind of thing, in that, you know, this guy had like a sort of like embalmed mummy in his house and that, and he was doing all these weird rituals and that. It was all right. It was okay. I've seen worse. Like, tell you what, guys. Hell of a lot of Christmas movies on the streaming, isn't it? Especially Amazon Prime. Oh, there's loads of them. They're a bit of a hit and miss as well, aren't they? The Christmas movies, they're usually about a love story, aren't they? About a secretary falls in love with a boss, or a boss is a bit of a bee, you know. And but some of the stories are pretty good in those Hallmark Christmas films. Yeah, I quite like some of them. Yam Yam's Talkies. Good luck with your short film. Oh, thanks very much, mate. Thanks. With me being a physical media fan, I'm going to burn all my films on disc and I'll be giving them out for free. So if you want one, you're welcome. Oh, thanks very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks. Sorry, guys. Just slipped up there. Scrolling up. Jeff saying, I enjoyed that movie, Coma, made in 1978, starring Michael Douglas. I don't think I've seen that one. It rings a bell, but I don't think I've seen it. I think I've seen clips of it. I don't think I've seen it right through, Jeff. I'll have to check that out. I like Michael Douglas. I liked him in Fatal Attraction. He's very good in that, yeah. And of course, he was in the streets of San Francisco, wasn't he? Yeah, with Karl Malden. Great actor, Michael Douglas. Am I Dead Yet's asking me, have you seen the horror thriller Joyride with Paul Walker? No. I seen it years and recently watched this again. What do you think? If you were into the CB radio craze, Citizens Band radio craze in the 80s or 90s, you might like us. I remember that craze well. All these pirate stations were popping up everywhere, weren't they? We had in my neck of the woods, we had one called Merseyland Alternative Radio, and I used to listen to a guy called Bert Williams. Used to be on every Sunday afternoon, and he played some great records. But sometimes he'd have like a little bit of a fault that the record would jump or it was scratched and that, So that was a bit funny, like he's oh sorry about that, A lot of fun, yeah. I remember this Citizen Band radio craze extremely well. But yeah, this thriller Joyride, what you're referring to, I'll have to check that out. I tell you the movie I wouldn't care to watch, guys. That one, I forget the title of it. You most probably jog me memory when I describe it. It's about these two girls. They go into this desert landscape, and there's this big tower, it's stretching right up into the heavens and that. And I think I don't know if one dares to climb up it, or they just want to do it like just for some excitement, and they get trapped up there. You know the one I mean, won't you? I forget what's it called. But just looking at it like makes you dizzy. They're on top of the thing and he gets stuck. I'm sure one of you will be able to jog me memory if you're seeing it now. But I haven't got a head for heights, so I don't think I could watch that, especially on a full stomach, But I have heard a lot of good things about it. But it's you've got to have a good head for heights to watch it and that, because it can make you dizzy watching it and that. But I'm sure you guys will be able to jog me memory on that one. We've got Yam Yam here saying Michael J. Murphy, there's a lot of heart and soul in them, and he uses pretty much the case crew and cast in his films, which is nice. Yeah, a lot of directors do that, don't they? They use the same crew again and again. Yeah. Jeff's saying that's why I didn't like the Psycho TV series, going back to when Norman was a teenager. Yeah, I must admit, up until the very last episode, I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as Anthony Perkins, of course, but I got into it as I watched it more. But I didn't like. I think the last episode was a real bummer. It really was. It was a real letdown. Yeah, I won't give away if anybody hasn't seen it, but totally, big anticlimax that. Am I Dead Yet saying John Carpenter said that's at the New York Film Academy about Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. He didn't like the fact they went into his childhood. Yeah, this is it, isn't it? When you go back like retrospective narratives, I'm not a big fan of. Never liked them. I don't like them in novels either. Some of the Stephen King novels, like he sort of like starts off currently and then he goes back and that, I lose interest in that, unless it's very, very good. The flashbacks, I lose interest. Jeff's saying, I watched The Vault of Horror only yesterday. Oh, first time you've seen it? Is it the first time you've seen it, Jeff? Or have you seen it like a few times? I presume you have seen it a few times. Yam Yam is saying, would you mind if I ask your advice on the film I'm doing? I have 3 different endings I like. Would you recommend to pick one and swing the rest and pick one and film the other 2 as alternative? I'd film the other 2 as alternative ending, just in case you watched and you're not satisfied with it, because you can change your mind. And that, you know, as a writer, I know I've written what I think is a good ending to a short story, and then on reflection, I thought, oh no, perhaps I thought of an even better ending, and then again an even better ending than that. So if you've got a couple of options circulating around your brain, I would do the 3, 4, whatever it is. I'd do them all, and then you've got a choice then, haven't you? If one goes wrong, you've got the others to fall back on. That's what I'd do anyway. Keep your options open. Matthew Burrell, what are your top 3 films? What are my top 3 films from the Halloween franchise? Well, it's easy. The first 2, Halloween 1978 and Halloween 2 from 1981. Now, a third one is a little bit more tricky. I'd have to really think about that. The third one, I would say, a lot of them I haven't watched for ages and that, but this is just going like from memory. My favourite third one would have to be the one with Jamie Lee Curtis. Halloween Resurrection, where she came back as a school teacher and she had a son. That was a pretty good one. So I would say part 1 and part 2. I thought the Return of Michael Myers and the Curse of Michael were pretty average Halloween movie. So I'd say Halloween, the original, Halloween 2. You know, I say they could have been one movie, and then the one with Jamie Lee Curtis, the Halloween H2O. David Me 3. I don't mind the Rob Zombie ones because he takes the character in a different direction, doesn't he? It's more bloody in that. I don't mind them. I didn't like the second one. Wasn't keen on that. And as regards to David Gordon Green, the David Gordon Green trilogy, I'd have to say I'm not really a huge fan of that. It's okay. It's watchable, but I'm not a big fan of it as much as I loved the first Halloweens, you know, the original. Yeah, what I didn't like about the David Gordon Green, I didn't like that one he was saying evil dies tonight repeatedly. It got a bit much, that, like in Halloween Kills. I didn't like the fact in the third one that Myers was hardly in it. I didn't like that. I know they were trying to do something different, and I'm sure, you know, people, you know, there's people like that. That's fine. Everybody's different. We all got our own tastes, haven't we? But the first one was okay. Yeah, I was a bit mad about the doctor part, like, you know, the slimy doctor. Yeah, I was a bit, what's the name about that? A bit dubious about that. And I was a little bit dubious about the fact that he turned like Jamie Lee Curtis into kind of like a Rambo character, didn't he? At first she's supposed to be hiding away from him. Then she comes out with all guns blazing, and that this is the final confrontation between me and Michael. How many times have we heard that? Because I think they should let it rest now, guys. If you ask me, the Halloween. And God forbid if they ever do a bloody series, because I definitely won't be watching that unless it's exceptionally good. And I mean exceptionally good. I don't like the tendency now, guys, of these horror producers. They start to make series of classics and that, you know, it's very watered down stories and that, you know. It's like that you know, that TV series they done the Haunting of Hill House. I didn't like that. Again, that was guilty of a lot of flashbacks, what I don't like in a movie. I don't like bloody flashbacks in movies of going backwards and forwards. In the end, I gave up on it, guys. So, and I believe the sequel, The Haunting of Bly Manor, it's not really, although it says like The Haunting of Bly Manor, you immediately, your preconceived idea would be, oh, it's going to be full of ghosts. I believe it's more of a gothic love story. So I'm going to pass on that, The Haunting of Bly Manor. Have you seen that one? The Haunting of Bly Manor. Yeah, I think I'll pass on that, you know. As tempting as the cover is on Amazon and that, you know, and a nice cover and that, and slip cover and that, and I think I'll pass on that, The Haunting of Bly Manor. But I didn't like that. I didn't like that Haunting of Hell House series at all. I prefer the original one, that's Shirley Jackson. That was, you know, the one with Richard Johnson in. That was the best one. I didn't like that bloody series. It was awful. Leslie's saying, I always tell Salem's Lot fans David Soul has to learn to hit the stake like Cushing, yeah, and not hit it with the hammer from the side. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, nobody can kill a vampire quite like Peter Cushing fan, like quite like Peter Cushing can, and nobody can create a monster quite like Peter Cushing's Baron Frankenstein can. Yeah, two great roles there. He made his own. Yam Yam's Talkies are saying, have you watched Violent Night? No. From 2022. You know what's put me off that a bit? It's not really a horror movie. It's more of like like a thriller kind of action movie, and I thought, no, I'm not watching that. It has mixed reviews, but personally, I absolutely love it. Well, a lot of people do. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people do. I watched it in December. I rated 9 out of 10, one of my favourite films in the last 2 years. They put comedy in, haven't they? Haven't they put comedic elements in, which is not always a good idea in my book. You know, if they do it badly, they've got to do it. They've got to balance the humour out, you know, to balance the horror out with the humour, so if they don't ruin the movie. But no, I'm passing on that one. You would think it was a horror movie, though, wouldn't you? On first glance, you first seeing the cover and that, you know, oh, that sounds very much in the vein of Silent Night, Deadly Night, doesn't it? But you would think that, but when you read more into it and you see people's reviews and that, yeah, I've seen a few people review and I thought, nah, that's not for me, that. Jeff Joffy saying, I always watch Torture Garden twice a year. I love that movie, Torture Garden. Burgess Meredith plays Satan. Once at Easter, and then the last bank holiday in August. Don't ask me why. It's a good movie. It's worth the watch. You know, it's a very rewatchable movie. Jeff Joffy, you're right about the Ice House, Alan. Oh yeah, the one with John Stride. Very disappointing. I watched that at Christmas. Yeah, and that's in that set as well. What a bought here, Jeff. The Ghost Stories for Christmas. Yeah, it was. It wasn't much, was it? Yeah, I remember John Stride. He was in the Main Chance, that series, The Main Chance. That wasn't much either. As I say, those Ghost Stories for Christmas, they're a bit of a hit and miss. There's a lot of turkeys, if you pardon the pun. There's a lot of turkeys in those Christmas Ghost Stories, but there's a few good ones, yeah. The sorting the wheat from the chaff, isn't it? Yam Yam's saying, I have a question. I have a question for you to see if you could answer. If you had to pick, do you prefer anthologies or ghost stories in films and series? Now, that's a tough one, that. It really is. If I had to pick, do I prefer anthologies or ghost stories in film? I like both. That's a very, very difficult question. I like a good ghost story, anthologies, and I like anthologies as well. So that's not to choose between the two. I love them both. Right, some more comments coming, guys. Am I dead yet? Saying, has anybody seen the film Paper House from 1989 with Ben Cross? In its kind of horror, a little girl draws a house and it comes to life. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't remember enjoying that too much. No, I've seen that one. I tell you, one a real boring movie I watched recently, guys. I mentioned it in me pickups, A Haunting in Venice. Any of you guys seen that? Oh my God, was I bored sick with that? Oh God! As I said, you don't if you can't sleep in that, and you don't need to take sleeping tablet. Just put that on. A Haunting in Venice, a real soporific movie. That was a real soporific, sleep-inducing movie. Didn't like that at all. Not really a great fan of Poirot. Anyway, I prefer Sherlock Holmes to Poirot. Well, never used to watch the series either, but we're having A Haunting in Venice in. It suggested like a ghostly narrative and that, so I thought I'd give it a shot, and I'm sorry I did. So, oh yeah, really boring, terrible movie. As like that other one, The Haunting of the Queen Mary, two real bad ones I watched there over the holiday period, guys. Yam Yam's Talkies, Joyride is great. I'm not stuck on the sequel, but I love the first one. Oh, nice, I'll have to check that out. We've got Craig 1990 here. Hi, Alan. You okay, Craig, mate? Thanks for stopping by. Have you heard there is a new Nosferatu remake coming out? I have, yeah. Coming out at the end of the year. That's a good cast. William Dafoe and the bloke playing Nosferatu is in from it, who plays the clown. I'll have to check that out. Nosferatu. Yeah, I've heard that they make a new one. Excuse me. Spiral, that film with height. Isn't Spiral isn't that the Saw, one of the Saw movies, Spiral? Yeah, I think it's got another title. Yeah, different title. But this big tower is in the desert. It's all really very thin tower it is. But I forget the name of it. Leslie's saying Joyride is just another version of The Hitcher, 1986 with Rutger Hauer. Now, there's a movie that I'm looking forward to coming out on Blu-ray, The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer. That is an awesome movie. I love The Hitcher, and it's long overdue for a decent Blu-ray release in Britain, guys. So I believe that as a second sight of doing an edition of that, I bet it'll be sold out within what, hours, if not minutes. Yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that, The Hitcher. Yam's asking me, have you seen 24 Hours? Yeah, I loved it. It's great. That's a pretty good horror thriller. You're right, it's great. Yeah, the girl gets a job in the late night service station. She's carrying a lot of emotional baggage, isn't she? Yeah, and doesn't her ex-boyfriend turn up outside? You think it's her ex-boyfriend tormenting her? Someone's tormenting her. I love that one. Yeah, it's a good one. I'd like to add that one to my collection. Open 24 hours. Yeah, it's great, that one. Vinny's asking me, Alan, what do you think about Horror Express with Cushing and Lee and Telly's? I love it. One of my favourite Cushing and Lee movies, Horror Express. Always have a blast. Always have a blast watching that movie. I watched it a lot in my childhood, and I like the fact that it deviates from the normal monster on the train narrative, because it's sort of like you've got more layers to it, haven't you, than just a monster rampaging on the train. It's very, very good. I love Horror Express. There's an episode of if any of you guys have seen any of the Creep Show series, there's an episode in that where this guy's got this machine, like a bed, and he lies on it and he closes the lid over him, and he can be transported into any horror movie he likes. And the movie, it happens to be Horror Express, and he's transported into the movie with Lee and Cushing and Savalas. Yeah, I think that's in it. Is it season 2? That's in. It's either in season 2 or season 3. It's a bit wacky, like, you know, it's a bit far-fetched. But yeah, I love Horror Express. Am I dead yet? To Leslie, it's more like Duel from the 70s, right? Vampire Jack Fall. That's the one. That's the one with the tower. It's skyscraper like tower in the desert. Fall. That's it. Have you seen it? Have you? What did you think of it? Oh God, it's if you don't like heights, don't watch it going to bed. You'll have nightmares about heights. You know, yeah, it's a very, very sort of like a stomach churning, heady movie to watch that. According to the trailers I've seen of it anyway. I believe they're making a sequel as well, aren't they? Yeah, oh yeah, you've got to have a good head of heights to watch that one. But that's the one, Fall. Thanks for that. Leslie's saying, oh yes, Amy, it's more like that one. Yeah. You haven't coughed that much tonight, Alan, so things are looking up. Yeah, it's easing off. Like, I've coughed a bit, like, but it's easing off now. It wasn't as bad as it was, you know, but it's gradually easing off. I just want me bloody sense of taste and smell to come back now, and I'll be all good. Jeff's saying, no, seen the boss. I thought you had, yeah. I thought you'd seen it many times, Jeff. Yeah, I've seen it loads of times myself. I think I've seen every Amicus film. I think I've seen over 100 times in my lifetime. I love them that much, you know. They're such good movies. Yam's saying, thanks, Alan. The thing I like about storytelling is we come with an idea, then the story goes in a direction that we didn't even know ourselves, even though we're the ones writing the story. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. That's the beauty of it. That's the thrill of writing, isn't it? You know, you just don't know. Sometimes a story writes itself. You know, you don't envisage when you first start writing a story. Sometimes you don't envisage the ending. It just comes, yeah, out of what you've written, which is always very exciting. Vinny's saying, Alan, I have been watching the Carry On films over Christmas holiday on TV. They're great, them. It brought back good memories from my childhood. Yeah, I love the Carry On movies. Yeah, obviously, I like the some I like more than others. Yeah, Carry On Screaming is my number one. Yeah, I love Carry On Cowboy, Carry On Teacher, Carry On Doctor. They're great. And it's great to have these imprint sets on Blu-ray. Yeah, you get 4 Carry On movies. I've got the first 3 now. So fingers crossed they'll bring out more in the new year. I'm sure they're going to bring out more if they do well. They're bound to bring out more carry-ons on Blu-ray. David GPS is saying, Alan, have you seen the movie Thanksgiving? No, I'm trying to avoid reviews of that because I don't want to know what happens in it. It's awful. And have you seen the new Hellraiser movie? It's the new Hellraiser movie. Is that the one where the girls are pinhead? I avoided that one. They haven't made another one, have they? Oh God, they're really what's the name in that, aren't they? For what it's worth, they're milking that genre, that franchise for what it's worth. But getting back to Thanksgiving, I've heard a lot of people like that one. You didn't like it? I suppose it's all down to subjective, isn't it? Really, you know. Right, Yam Yam's talkies are saying, yes, Violent Night isn't a horror. No, it's an action comedy, but it's not silly over the top comedy. A pretty good balance between action and comedy. Oh, well, as long as you enjoyed it, like, yeah. Jeff's saying, regarding Salem's Lot, sadly, Lance Kerwin, who played the kid who partners with David Soul, Lance died at just 62. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He looked a lot older, but I think he had very bad health in recent years. I'm very sorry to hear that, Jeff. He's very good in that, wasn't he? Yeah. Very sorry to hear that. I love that Salem's Lot from 1979. Yam's saying, I thought you was going to say an anthology about ghost stories. Haha. I did. Funny enough, I had that ghost stories anthology. That British one was a few years ago. I didn't like that. The stories were crap. They're really crap. So I flogged that. The one with the white cover. I didn't like that at all. The stories are very weak, yeah. Ghost stories, I was expecting a lot from that and got so little. So I got rid of that. It's very hard to make a good horror anthology now because Amicus, they were the leading light, as far as I'm concerned, in anthology filmmaking. Oh, we've got Jordan here. You okay, Jordan? Nice to have you along. Movie Squirm. Hi, Alan. Have you seen a movie called Cobweb 2023 out on Blu-ray now? I thought it was one of the best horrors from last year. I did have Cobweb, Jordan, a couple of weeks ago, but I lost interest around about halfway through, so I didn't finish it. But yeah, you enjoyed it then, did you? Yeah. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Yeah. We've all got our own different tastes, haven't we? Yeah. As I say, I lost interest about halfway through, but I'm glad you enjoyed it anyway. Yeah. Oh, thanks for coming along. It's always nice to see you. Leslie's saying, Jeff, you think he had AIDS? Am I dead? Yes. Oh, is it Fall? That hype film called? Or has anyone else said it? Fall? Yeah. The big skyscraper in the desert and that. It seems to just go on forever. And the two girls climb up it and something goes wrong or something. I don't know if one of the things breaks or something. They're stuck up there, you know, and they're miles away from anywhere and that. That's the one. Fall. Jeff's saying to Leslie Russell, did he? I don't know. Right. Yam's talkies. I'm looking forwards. No Nosferatu, but I hope it's not a carbon copy of the 1922. A copy of the 1922 original. But having said that, I hope it does have the heart of the 1922 classic. Right. Yam's saying, and yes, that's the one. Open 24 hours is great. It was also on the telly a few days ago, right? Just scroll up, guys, getting some more comments coming in. Leslie's saying, Horror Express is the kind of thing and Dracula's Demeter. I wasn't fussing either of those movies. Yeah, I think Horror Express, in my opinion, is a good little unique film on its own, you know. But I know what you're getting at there when you say the thing and Dracula's Demeter, but I don't ever think of those movies when I watch, Horror Express. But I know what you mean. I get what you mean. David GPS, did you watch the new Doctor Who? I'm not a fan of Doctor Who. And particularly what I've heard about it's got a bit woke, hasn't it? So that's dissuaded me even more. I'm not a fan of Doctor Who. I've never been a great fan of Doctor Who. The only Doctor Who I really watched as a kid was Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee and a little bit of Tom Baker. But after that, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you one single episode of Doctor Who, because I never watched it. I do remember the Daleks were in a few, and the Cybermen. That's about it. That's about the extent of my knowledge of Doctor Who amounts to. Am I dead? Yes. Talking about heights, about a year ago, 2 teenage boys climbed up the Kelpie statues in Falkirk, Scotland, and got stuck. Served them right. Kelpie's not as big as that tower in Fall, but taller. See, it's like these ones that think they're being clever. They run along railway tracks, don't they, and that, you know, and jump off bridges and that. It's dangerous and that, running in between cars and that, you know. I seen an idiot a couple of weeks ago in Birkenhead. He was dodging between the traffic on a bike and that, you know, reckless and that, doesn't care. Well, he'd care if he got knocked up in the air. He ended up bloody paralysed. He'd be saying what a bloody fool I was. They don't seem to realise these some of these youngsters and that, when they go riding bikes in traffic and that, and jumping, doing stupid things like going on railway lines and that, and climbing up heights, they don't realise what could happen until it does, you know. So no, I didn't know about that case. We've got Jeff, avoid infinity pool. I did watch that. I didn't really like it. It wasn't for me, but I know a lot of people do like it. It's one of those. I suppose it's one of those Marmite movies, really, isn't it? Yeah. Am I dead? Yes. Talking about heights, about a year ago. Oh, this is the same one, isn't it? Sorry. Yam Yam's saying, I saw Horror Express for the first time last year, and I fell in love with this. What an absolute masterpiece. It's very good. It's very good, Horror Express, and I echo your sentiments there. Yeah, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen Horror Express, guys, I highly recommend that you check it out. It's great. If you like those 70s kind of movies, creature feature movies, or a bit of supernatural thrown in for good measure, check out Horror Express. It's a great watch. Sorry, guys, I'm just making sure I don't miss anybody out here in the comments. Leslie Russell, they lied to us about the Hellraiser remake. It's a reboot of Hellbound. All right. To be honest with you, Leslie, the Hellraiser, I'm not really a great fan of that franchise. I only really like the first one. Wasn't fussy on number 2, and after that, like the Krueger films after Dream Warriors, they just went down and down and down and down, in my estimation. Yeah, so I'm not really a great fan of Hellraiser, apart from the first one, and I wouldn't even class that as me greatest in me, my all-time greatest horror movies. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not really a big fan of him. I'm not too fussy on the Phantasm either. Can't get into. I watched them a few times. I can't really get into them. Phantasm, yeah. So that's another franchise I'm not really a big fan of. Same with the Lost Boys. I'm not a fan of that either. Vampire Jack. The newest Hellraiser is actually pretty good. All right, is that the one with the girl in, or is this another one again? Because he made one with the girl, female pinhead, didn't he? Is this the one you mean? We've got David asking me, Alan, do you like the Amityville movies? I like some of them. Yeah, I like the first 2, and the third one's not bad. It's a bit hokey, but it's not bad. Yeah, my gripe about the first Amityville with the girl out of Superman in and James Brolin, it's a bit slow, very slow. I thought the remake was better. That was made in, was it 2005 or 2000? I thought that was much better. Yeah, that's just my opinion. It's like you could say the same thing about The Evil Dead. You prefer the remake to the original, vice versa. But in regards to the Amityville movies, I thought the first one was very slow. Second one was very scary. Third one was okay, but a bit hokey. And as I say, I loved the remake. I thought the remake was very good. But after that, you got the likes of Amityville Dollhouse, Amityville You Better Watch Out, and a long string of Amityville movies, usually revolving around an item that was confiscated or stolen from the house or bought from the house, which doesn't transfer very well, guys, to it, in my opinion, doesn't transfer very well to making sequels. I think they should have just left it at the first 2 or 3. That's my opinion on them. Yam Yam saying, I'm a big fan of short stories. Yeah, me too. I even write them. I love going on YouTube and watching short horror films. I do. Some of those short horror films, are better than some of these big blockbusters. Yeah, some good little gems in them. Some are like 3 minutes, but great. I know they are. Yeah, definitely. Real scary. Some of them. Yeah, I watched one a couple of weeks ago. Very similar to Smile, where this girl she's sitting on like a lonely railway station at midnight and that, and nobody about and that, no trains, and this girl opposite her, right across the platform, she's smiling at her, and then I can't remember exactly how it unfolds the story, but then you see it in another setting as well. She's walking along this darkened street, and she sees the girl again smiling at her. Oh, it's real creepy, yeah. There's some good little gems with those creepy pastas, they're called, aren't they? Yeah, well, the creepy pastas are short stories, aren't they? But those short horror movies, I don't know what they call them, but they've got a name for them, but they're very good. Yeah, some real little gems in them. Okay, guys, I'm going to be on for another half hour. I'm going to finish at 10 o'clock, as I usually do. So if you want to ask me anything at all, feel free to ask me anything within reason, of course. Anything at all about horror, anything movies and that, collecting movies and that, favourite movies, just fire away. Leslie's saying, I only like the original Hellraiser from '87, and it's one of my favourite movies. The sequel's gone to another place. The money maker, yeah, it's all about money now, isn't it? They sort of they create a horror character and they try to milk as much out of that horror character as they possibly can. It's all about money. Sorry, guys, bloody cough. God, I won't know myself when I stop coughing. I can taste me bloody food again. Bloody hell. And what a great time to get it as well. Just over the Christmas and New Year period when I love my Christmas dinner. Oh God, totally ruined it for me this year. This. Oh. David's asking me, Alan, do you have Blood on Satan's Claw? I love it. I've got it on Blu-ray. I absolutely love that movie. Linda Hayden's really sinister in that, isn't she? Yeah, it's a great folk horror. I believe they're bringing out the 4K, or they brought the 4K, but I won't be getting the 4K because the ones I've had, guys, they've all been dark and that. Picture's been too bloody dark. So I'm refraining from getting 4Ks, and I'm just going to stick with the Blu-rays. But I love it. Yeah, I love Blood on Satan's Claw. The guy is in it. Who was in is it Barry Andrews? He was in Dracula's Risen from the Grave, wasn't he? He's in that, isn't he? Linda Hayden, of course, yeah. But I love Blood on Satan's Claw. If you like your folk horror movies, guys, I highly recommend that one, Blood on Satan's Claw. Great little movie. Jeff's saying, was there only one ghost story for Christmas on the BBC this time? I believe there was. The other was a repeat, the Ice House. Usually there's about 2 or 3. No, I think there's just one, Jeff. I think there was anyway. If anybody can correct me on that. But as far as I know, there's only one. Lot 429 or something like that. So I know it was Lost, but I forget the number. I'm sure it was Lot 429. And of course, you had the Ice House, didn't you? And there was another. What was did you show another one? A repeat, not a new one. A repeat. No, I think that was it. There was 2. They showed He showed that one, didn't he? Lot 4, the Arthur Conan Doyle one on Christmas Eve night, I think it was. And then he showed the Ice House with John Stride. I think that was on later, wasn't it? On it, Talking Pictures. Yeah, Talking Pictures. That was on the Ice House. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. Boring. Jeff's saying, yeah, Doctor Who completely woke now. Some of the issues they're bringing up, and now this new Doctor's, that's bloody ridiculous, that. This new Doctor's supposed to be bisexual. Crazy. I know. It's the same with the Disney, isn't it? I don't want to go on too much about it because I don't like getting too political, but it's what Disney are doing, I think, is terrible. Parents are not, they're keeping their kiddies now away from the theme parks. I don't blame them either, what they're doing to the characters. Vampire Jack saying Peter Cushing was my favourite Doctor Who. Yeah, didn't he play him about twice in 2 movies, Peter Cushing? Yam Yam's Talkies is saying, I have a lot of Arrow titles, and I personally think the Horror Express is arguably the best horror that Arrow was released. Yeah, it's a good one. I'm glad they did. Because if they didn't, I wouldn't have heard of it. Yeah, it's a great way. Yeah, Arrow did a great job with that transfer as well on Horror Express. Yeah, very pleased with it. Yeah, it's a cracking film. Vampire Jack's saying Peter Cushing was my favourite Doctor. Oh, we've had that one, haven't we? David GPS, Alan, have you seen Don't Be Afraid of the Dark 1972 with Kim Darby? I've got it on Blu-ray. I love it. I've got the remake as well, which I don't love so much, but I love the Kim Darby one. Or those creepy little demonic creatures. Ooh, came out of like a great thing, didn't he? Yeah, I love Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. It's a good one. Sorry, guys. David, yes, Amityville 2 is best, very scary. Yeah, that's very much possession overtones, that, hasn't it? Amityville 2. Amityville Horror Remake is the only Amityville I like. Yeah, the one from it's a 2005 or 2006, the one I like. Yeah, it's a good one, that. Like that one. Jeff's saying, I love that scene in Torture Garden when Peter Cushing says to Jack Palance, you can believe whatever you like regarding Poe writing you horror stories. Yeah, it's a good one, that. The man who collected Poe, Jack Palance, and that he's going mad, isn't he, for Peter Cushing's Edgar Allan Poe collection with disastrous results, with very horrific results. Yeah, good one. I love that movie, Torture Garden. I love all the Amicus movies, as I said before. Vampire Jack says the Amityville movies are adequate up to the remake, right? Yeah, I suppose we've all got our own different opinions, haven't we, on the like everything else, really. We've all got our favourites, are the ones we don't like as much. Yeah, it's all subjective, really, isn't it? Yam Yam's saying the remake also stars the gorgeous Melissa George, who I have a crush on, and she's also my second favourite actress as ever. All right, and Melissa George, yeah, fine actress, yeah. Yam Yam's talk is The Girl in the Yellow Dress. Is that a new movie, The Girl in the Yellow Dress? Yam Yam says The Other Side of the Box is a great short horror. I haven't seen that one. Jeff Joffy, Vic's chest rub is supposed to be good. Yeah, my mum said that, and my cousin said that. Rub a bit of Vic on your chest. Yeah, the only thing is it has a tendency to smell, but then again, I can't smell anyway, so I might just try that, Jeff. Yeah. Yam Yam's talkies. Fun fact, Linda Hayden, for years I knew the name and I know her face, but I never knew that the pretty blonde was Linda Hayden. I only knew last year that pretty blonde was Linda Hayden. Yeah, Linda Hayden is Linda Hayden. Fine actress. Just getting up to date with the comments, guys. David's saying, Alan, have you ever watched Hammer series Journey to the Unknown? I love Journey to the Unknown. That's the one I've been going on about. It's about time you released it on DVD or even better Blu-ray. I loved watching Journey to the Unknown in the late 60s. It's available to watch on YouTube. I wish it was available on DVD. I've seen a couple of episodes on YouTube, and some of the picture quality leaves a lot to be desired. So I'm hoping eventually that'll be some company will pick it up. I give it the Blu-ray. Sorry, guys, it's bloody cough. I'll be finishing at 10 anyway, so I'll spare you. You only have to suffer this. Your ears only have to suffer this for another 20 minutes. I think I'll leave the next live stream until I get properly better, because it's no fun for you guys listening, coughing and spluttering as I'm talking. Yeah, Journey to the Unknown. Yeah, and I've been harping on about that for ages. It's about time, a boutique label picked it up and gave it the release it deserves. Oh, God. Yam Yam's talkies. Did you see Horror Express before it was released by Arrow? I did. I saw it on the telly, yeah. I haven't heard of it until I bought the Blu-ray. Yeah, seeing on the telly, that's what me love grew for it. David GPS, what's your favourite story from the House of Drip Blood? I like the Peter Cushing Waxwork story. I love them all. Love them all, yeah. I love the House of Drip Blood. I like the Framing story as well with John Bennett as the cynical police detective who makes the mistake of going to the house on his own to investigate. And we all know what happened. If you've seen the movie, we all know what happened. I think the most fun episode in that one is the horror skit of John Pearce where he's this like a very arrogant actor, and he buys this vampire cloak, doesn't he? Turns into a vampire. Very good piss. That's a real fun one, that. Oh, sorry about this, guys. A bloody cough. Richard Brandt, Horror Express was on TV loads of times in the 70s and 80s. It was, and I watched it. Whenever it was on, I always watched it. I love Horror Express. Jeff's saying, Alan, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1956 or 1978. Both are very good. I like both of them, Jeff. Yeah, I like both of them. Yams Talkies. No, the short story you saw on YouTube sounds similar to the short horror story of the girl in the yellow dress, which is on YouTube. Oh, right, yeah. There's another one as well. The girl who wore the yellow ribbon round her neck. Lon Chaney Jr. recites it. Yeah, she's got this yellow ribbon round her neck, and she wears it right through till they get married and that. And they're old, and she won't tell him why she wears the ribbon. He keeps asking her, why do you always wear that yellow ribbon around your neck? I won't tell you. In the end, when they're old, oh well, see, you've been asking all these years, I'll finally tell you. Do you want to undo the ribbon? Spoilers alert. So, if you don't want to know, switch off. So when Lon Chaney Jr. way he recites it, it's really creepy. So when the husband slowly unties the ribbon from around her neck, her head falls off. What a punch in the face ending that was, yeah. Has this yellow ribbon round her neck. She wears it for years. And her boyfriend, the good-turned husband, he's always queering it. Why do you wear that yellow ribbon round your neck? I've never seen you without it once. And she won't tell him. In the end, like when they're old, and as I just said, when she says, well, you might as well undo it. And when he undoes it, her head falls off. Oh, God. Oh, what an ending. Sorry, guys. Jeff Job, there's another anthology called Beasts from the 70s. I've got that one. Yeah, it's great. 1976. It's great, Beasts. Yeah, especially the one with the rats. We don't actually see the rats. They're just suggested during Barty's party, where they're trying to take over the world and that, the elderly couple, they're sort of like trapped in the house and that, and you're getting these news reports about rats slaughtering people. It's great, that. And the ghost in the supermarkets. That's a good one. Oh. Another 15 minutes to go, guys, and I'm going to go to bed with a hot water bottle and I might try and sweat it out of me. But you don't need hot water bottles now with these mild winters, do you? I hated Christmas Day. It was bloody 15 degrees. Don't like it when it's like that. I like it to be like snowy and icy, gives it the atmosphere. Yeah, I don't like it when it's warm on Christmas. Yam saying, no, he's not saying that. I also watched House of Wax with Vincent Price a few months ago for the first time and loved this. Yeah, it's great. I love it myself. There were a few things I didn't understand, but even with that, I still had great time with it. What didn't you understand about that, the House of Wax? It's a while since I saw it, but if you could enlighten me, I might be able to help you there. I don't know. It depends what we puzzled about. Phyllis Kirk's good in that as well. Just getting up to date, guys, with the comments here. Vinny's saying, Alan, what do you think about old TV shows from the 70s like George and Mildred and Father Dear Father? I love both. I love all them. I grew up with them. Man About the House, Frank Spencer, all them. Yeah, On the Buses is my favourite. Love Thy Neighbour. Please say the Fence Street Gang. Remember the Fence Street Gang? carried on the story of the pupils from Police. Yeah, I loved all those series. Yeah, I used to like that one as well. The Likely Lads, that was a good one. I loved all of them. I grew up on all of them, and I've got, as I say, it's great to have them in the collection. Robin's Nest, George and Mildred, all them. Yeah, got all them. David's saying, Alan, do you have Thriller 1970s? It's one of my favourites. I've got it. I've had it for a few years. I love it. I love the creepy episode Lady Day about the Satanists. Yeah. So I love every episode of that. Brian Clements was such a consummate writer, wasn't he? He was a great writer. He wrote a lot of the Avengers as well, didn't he? Brian Clements. Yeah, I love Thriller. So they made some of those little episodes. They make good feature films then. I like the one with Donna Mills, One Deadly Owner, where she buys that big Rolls Royce, and there was a murder done in it years ago, and it's haunted and that, and it's good, that One Deadly Owner. Yeah, great. I love Thriller. Yam's saying, I love George and Mildred. And Whatever Happened to the Likely Lads are my two favourite comedies of all time. I'd certainly second that. They were great. Jeff's saying, I have two hot water bottles, one for my face, the other for my body. I used to have a hot water bottle, being serious now. I used to have a hot water, when the winters were really, really cold. I used to get a hot water bottle after I've had my tea, and I'd lie on the couch with the duvet over me, have the hot, because the winters were really cold when I was growing up. Don't get that. You don't get that now. It's they're very mild winters. I used to have hot water bottle every night. On my feet were like blocks of ice. You don't get, as I say, this bloody global warming. It's a curse, isn't it? Global warming. David saying, Alan, what's the worst movie you watched in 2023? I watched a lot. I watched a lot of low budget ones that I've instantly forgotten about. That's how much I enjoyed them. Too many to mention. I haven't really got a worst one. But that what's the name was pretty bad. A Haunting in Venice. That was really bad. Really bad, that one. I didn't like Renfield. Yeah, wasn't too keen on that. Yam's Talkies. That film you mentioned, The Fall, is that a new film or a classic? I don't want to know. It's a new one. The two girls go into the desert and as I say, they climb up this like thin skyscraper thing. It's a new one, that. Jeff's saying, you're being saved, heavily censored now. The bloody idiots are censoring that now, are they? Haven't you got anything better to do than sit on the big fat ARSES and make stupid decisions about censoring what were, after all, pretty harmless lines of dialogue that nobody thought of? They're just pure entertainment. I can't understand these ones now that's in these TV shows, TV, boards on these boards and that. They should be sacked. He needs to get somebody in, got a bit of brains up here. I'm saying, I didn't like what he done with the James Bond books either, cutting lines out that were just stupid, didn't need cutting out. I didn't buy any of them. I showed me displeasure by not buying when he re-released them a couple of months ago, and I bloody told him so as well. Ian Fleming Estate, I said, making cuts to stories what people thought not, just almost reading fiction, They're bloody stupid now. They're trying to pander to a tiny, tiny minority, and it's bloody stupid. Most people, give people a due. They're punishing by not going to see their bloody films and not buying their books. So good on all you people that don't pander to this woke nonsense. That Little Mermaid, that's one movie. Wild Horses couldn't get me dragged to see that bloody Little Mermaid. Oh my days, what a load of tosh. Brian Gilson, how was The Killer Shrews and Giant Gila Monster? Giant Gila Monster on Blu-ray. Weren't very good. I'm looking forward to watching Leech One. I hope that's a bit better. Got 10 minutes, guys. So, as I say, if you want to ask me anything at all about horror, anything within reason, just put your questions to me. I'd be happy to answer as many as I can. I'm going off at 10 o'clock. I'm going to get down on the sofa with my duvet over me. Yam's Talkies. Thanks. In the House of Wax, was Vincent Price crazy from the get-go, or did he turn crazy because his wax museum was burned down with him beaten up? Yeah, it's a good question. I suppose you'd have to form your own opinion about that. Was he crazy from the get-go, or did he turn crazy because his wax museum? You just evoked another film similar, a similar kind of narrative, and that's The Shining with Jack Nicholson. Now, I don't know if you guys have read the book, but in the book, he's all right, Jack Torrance, when he's going to the hotel. He's saying he's all right up here. Whereas in the movie, Jack Nicholson plays him. He's already a bit kooky to start off with, and that, the way he carries on and that. So I think that was what Stephen King didn't like. One of the aspects Stephen King didn't like, making Jack Torrance a bit screwy before he went to the hotel. When in actual fact, it was the hotel that made him screwy. When he went to the hotel, all the spirits and that was sort of like residual energy, what you call spirits that linger and linger in all places. The residual energy of the spirits turned him kooky, But as I say, in the movie, he was already a bit odd to begin with, but you thought it was a bit strange. Why did he do that? I say it's the same kind of thing, really, isn't it? Are they nuts to begin with, or does something turn them nuts? Good question. Yam's saying, is Sheila Fane in the series Thriller? Do you know what? I'm sure she's in one episode. That's the woman that played George and Mildred's neighbour, the wife, wasn't it? Sheila Fane. She's been in The Likely Lads as well. Good actress, Sheila Fane. Yeah, I think she was. Yeah, there's so many good actors in that Thriller series, and that iconic names, and that Dennis Waterman, Robert Powell, Donna Mills, and that John Carson. Real lineup of top stars. Yam's saying, when I'm freezing, I put the water bottle with the cover on, of course, between both my thighs. But when I wake up, I get red marks on my legs. I should learn, but still do it. Oh, missus. No, seriously. I can appreciate that. Oh, God. Hope you never ever make a movie called Carry On Coughing. David's saying, Alan, do you like Dario Argento movies? I like some of his movies. My favourite ones are The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. That's a good one. And the Sisters trilogy, the Evil Witches trilogy. They're good. Your favourite one, like Deep Red. That's a good one. But I love The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Absolutely love it. And of course, an added favourable fact that it stars one of my favourite cinema crushes, the lovely Susie Kendall. So yeah, I love The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. I didn't care much of his Dracula though. I didn't like that one. Am I Dead? Yes. Not horror, but the upcoming One Life with Anthony Hopkins. I want to see about the British Oscar Schindler. Nicholas Winding, is that? Nicholas Winding Rice. I haven't heard about that movie, One Life, with Anthony Hopkins. David's asking me, Alan, what's your favourite James Bond movie poster? I don't really got a very good memory of James Bond movie posters, so I can't really answer that one. It's been pretty good aesthetic ones, hasn't it? Good quality ones over the years, but no particular favourite springs to mind. I'm saying woke people are all Nazis, in my opinion. I absolutely despise every single one of them. Yeah, it's a very touchy subject, that, isn't it? Vampire Jack, the BBC censoring old stuff, but happy to force the LGBTQ agenda down our throats. So people just want to regurgitate it back out the throats, don't they? That's what I say. Yeah, you want to do a projectile vomit like The Exorcist, just spew it back at them. We're not having this crap. Take it back in your face. Little Mermaid, yeah, the Disney one, the Little Mermaid one. Have you not seen the trailers of that, Jeff? It's made of like coloured and that. It's not a very good, and the picture quality is very poor. It's like I call it. I've got a phrase for it, like dirty dishwater colour, no colour in it, and that. Yeah, it wouldn't go. As I say, wild horses couldn't drag me to see that. Any of those new Disney movies, guys, I wouldn't go and see. I wouldn't waste my money on them. David GPS, the Shining TV series was awful. Do you mean the one that was Rebecca De Mornay was in? I got that. I don't think it's too bad, that one. I quite like that one. Yeah, Stephen King preferred that to the Jack Nicholson one because he thought it was more true to the novel. I like both. I like both Shining movies. Yam Yam's Talkies are saying, if I ever hear a woke person, HMV, been woke about films, I'm going to deliberately annoy them by saying I love the most violent films and I love to watch films that offend to see them reaction. That's it. Oh yeah, people have got their own different ways of it, expressing their dislike of this agenda, what they're trying to push down people's throats. I think it's wrong. They should put a stop to it. People want to watch what they want to watch. Don't want to watch rubbish. Yam Yam's Talkies. I wonder what's happened to Sheila Fern. I know that when she broke her leg or foot, she retired, hasn't been seen in the public eye, which is unusual. Yeah, that's weird. The internet might be able to tell you that. But she was great as the neighbour, wasn't she, in George and Mildred? Yeah, she's a great actress, Sheila Fern. Jeff Choppy's saying Denholm Elliott in Thriller 2, I believe he is. Yeah, great actor. Yeah, he was in that segment, wasn't he? The House That Dripped Blood, where he was a writer and he created this character, didn't he? I forget what the character was called now, but he kept appearing all the time behind him on the stairs and that, and he seemed to possess him, didn't he? And Joanna Dunham played his wife and that, and he scared the living daylights out of it, didn't he? The character he was creating, he seems to be becoming real. That's a great segment, that, in The House That Dripped Blood. David's asking me, Alan, did you like To the Devil a Daughter? The Hammer movie, or the one starring Christopher Lee and Richard Widmark? It was okay. There's only one little thing that spoke that, the lame ending. And if you guys have seen the movie, you'll know what I mean. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, get ready to switch off if you don't want to know. The Christopher Lee character, the villain, was killed too easily, wasn't he? Yeah. You just throw something, stone at somebody and they're gone, things like that. God. What a letdown. I was rushed that ending. Jeff's saying, did you see the Barbie movie? No, not my cup of tea, Jeff. Why is it so popular among girls? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't care less, to be honest. It's not my cup of tea. More for teenage girls that like Oppenheimer. I would never go to see that. I would be bored. I would be bored sick watching that Oppenheimer. I definitely would. David, Richard O'Sullivan should have gone an MBE or an OBE. Yeah, he's in an old folks now, isn't he? Old folks home, isn't he? Yeah, he's a great actor, Richard O'Sullivan. Love Robin's Nest. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he got his own restaurant, didn't he? Moved in with his girlfriend, played by Tessa Wires. Yeah. Jeff's saying Richard was a bit of a lad back in the day, didn't he? Bed Tony Blackburn's wife. Yeah, I seem to remember. Tony Blackburn mentioned it or something on his radio. I don't know the full facts, but it seems to remember Tony Blackburn touched on the subject on one of his radio shows. Yeah. And he went out with Sally Thompson as well. Richard O'Sullivan, who could blame him? She was my favourite girl. Out of the two Man About the House girls, Jo was my favourite. Yeah. Paul Wilcox was all right, but I did prefer Jo, definitely, yeah. Very nice lady, Sally Thompson as well, very, very nice person. Yam Yam's Talkies, yes, she's great, also great at playing Audrey Collier, James Bolam's sister in The Likely Lads. That's it, she was in The Likely Lads, Sheila Fern, yeah. She's also easy on the eye too. A lot of those old British TV actresses were quite easy on the eye. Bert Murphy, Sheila Fern retired from acting in 1988, age 48, after breaking a leg during a fall from a mountain. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Leaving her with a prominent limp, which made her believe directors would no longer employ. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that happened to her. I love Sheila Fern. She was a very, very, very consummate actress. Susan and Dominique character. That's it. That's the name of the character in the what's the name? The House of Drip Blood segments of Denholm Elliott, who plays the horror writer. He created the character called Dominique. Yeah, Dominic. Right, guys, I'm going to finish in a minute or so. So I'd just like to thank you all for turning up. And I'd like to wish you all the best again for 2024. Hope it brings you peace and prosperity. I'll be doing another stream. I'll let you all know anyway, and I'll be back. I don't think it'll be next Thursday, but maybe the week after. I don't know yet. It just depends how it fits, like me in my schedule and that, because I do me writing and that, writing me stories and that, and other things as well. So I'll put a thing up anyway, a promo and that. But I really enjoyed it. Now I'll just get through a couple more comments, and I'll love you and leave you. Okay. Thanks again for turning up, guys. It's been great talking to you all again. I really appreciate it. Am I dead? Yes. It's a Jeff Joffrey. Exactly, Jeff. It should have been aimed at children. It's little girls who play with Barbie dolls. Jeff saying, am I dead yet? Not for me either. Jeff, Oppenheimer sounds a total bore fest. Yeah, I won't be going near that. Won't touch it with a barge pole. David saying, Alan, did you like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? In one word, no. Yam Yam's talkies. Chrissy married Robin's brother. Robin opened a restaurant. What do you think happened to Joe? Joe should have ended up with Robin. If you ask me, she should have, the writers should have made it that Robin ended up with Joe, because I think he did like Joe as well. Although he had the bigger crush on Chrissy, I think he had a little bit of a fancy for Joe as well. But he went out with her in real life, didn't he? Anyway, so that speaks for itself. Yeah. You never ever seen the two man about the house girls make a guest appearance in Robin's Nest, did you? It would have been great to have seen them do that. Am I dead? Yes. I watched Babylon a few months ago, was bored the first half, but it gets better. Just a couple more comments, guys, and I'm going to wind down for the night. Danny Dukes, have a good one. Thanks, Dan. Jeff, enjoy your hot water bottle salad back. Yeah, I don't think I'll go quite that far, because it's not really cold enough. But it makes you feel like that when you've got a cold. You want to try and sweat it out of you as much as you can. It'll just be the duvet on it. Just watching this back later on, or maybe a movie. Yeah. So, and I think that's about it for now. All right then, guys. So I'm gonna love yous and leave yous now. Again, thanks very much for turning up. I really enjoyed it. It's gone by. Time just flies when you're having fun. And I've some great subjects broached, by the way, not just horror, but other subjects as well, which I always enjoy broaching and that. It's great to see us all and that. It's nice talking to you. And I'd like to thank you all again for the great interest you're showing and all the work I'm doing on YouTube and that. I really appreciate it. I really do. I'm not just saying that. I really appreciate it. And keep up the good work with your videos as well, because I always enjoy watching your video, even though I can't comment on every single one, which I'd like to. There's just that many videos. I can just comment wherever I can. But yes, I'm going to wind down now, guys. So again, Happy New Year. I hope you all have a nice weekend. If you go Blu-ray hunting, I hope you manage to get some bargains. All right then, guys, I'm going to sign off now. So bye. See you soon. Bye.